Okay, so let me share my screen and we can start. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. First of all, let us understand the the mutual funds, right? Then we'll discuss about the holding company. Anyone's anyone is knowing what's the meaning of mutual funds? Are you aware about mutual funds? Are you investing in mutual funds? Then we'll discuss about holding companies. Anyone who has experience of investing in mutual fund? Anyone knows that? You can unmute your sound. You can talk. That's no problem. Don't chat. Please
Yes,
unmute.
sir. Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The
Lots.
meaning of funds
lot
from
of.
public, right? So I'm just giving one example how the mutual fund works. So there are two types of mutual funds, right? One is a close-ended mutual fund and open-ended mutual fund. Are you aware about that? Close-ended,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
close-ended mutual fund and the open-ended, open-ended mutual fund. So in close-ended mutual fund, what exactly it is like? It is. Have you heard about the close-ended mutual fund? Any idea about? Have you ever invested in close-ended mutual fund?
Yeah,
No,
there
sir.
will be a lock-in period for the close end.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, lock-in. No,
And
there is no. See, only one-time issue of units, and there won't be any further issue. If
Oh.
these close-ended mutual fund, mostly they are listed on stock exchange. They are listed on stock exchange, and close-ended means it is once the issue close. That means that only one time they issue, and then there won't be a further issue. That means that in case of open-ended, what happened actually that it keeps on buying, keeps on issuing the new units, and there is a redemption is also there in case of open-ended mutual fund. So close-ended mutual fund, in earlier days I'm talking about in 90s, this was very popular, close-ended mutual fund. I'll give you one example, and we'll talk about the name of the mutual fund is Morgan Stanley. It's a very good story to learn actually. Morgan Stanley, what happened to Morgan Stanley? Morgan Stanley, it was once upon a time, in 94 they came out with the close-ended mutual fund. And we'll discuss a story that close-ended mutual fund. So what is that close-ended mutual fund? It is like for example, if there is a 30,000 rupees is a corpus, I'm just giving a example, right? If the 30,000 rupees is a corpus that is decided, and the company invites the offer from the general public, and they say that maximum amount is 30,000 rupees, maybe they say that maybe the 20% over subscription maybe they accept. So they say that maximum, they say that we will collect 1.2 times, that is say 36,000, right? And the issue get oversubscribed. Say you get a money, say 50,000, right? So they just like a equity share allotment, they allot proportionately the units. That means it's a close-ended mutual fund. So it is a limited, actually, just like a lottery system, they allot the units, and then they calculate, they invest in the stock market depending upon the scheme actually. So basically they may say that equity debts, or they may invest in only equity. They may so in 94 Morgan Stanley came out with the close ended mutual fund. and there was a long queue. Let me tell you, it's like people those days I'm talking about. People were crazy about multinational companies stock. I don't know whether you are aware, but Colgate, Palmolive, Nestle, people were aware that these companies always multiplied, and every 2-3 years they issued a bonuses, a hefty dividend. So when they heard about the Morgan Stanley close-ended mutual fund, I still remember that long queue is there. Long queue means it's like they declared that it was a 300 crores issue and is a close-ended mutual fund. Long queue is like, and they say that we are going to accept only units up to 1.2 times. We will not accept more than that. So long queue is there, and those days I'm talking about it. The face value of the Morgan Stanley unit, it was 10 rupees, and market premium was 18 rupees. Can you believe that? So always they thought about, no, this is like a common stock, where every time you must be knowing that when the issue of common stock, when their listing is happening, there is always list at the premium. So they also, this is like a Morgan Stanley close-ended mutual fund. Gray premium used to have 8 rupees, right? 8 to 9 rupees, and people were even, I'm not saying, so people purchase these units. Gray market, chartered accountants, long queue. They say, I said, why you are standing? It's like 3 hours, 4 hours of long queue. You have to stand actually. In Mumbai, I still remember when you ask, no, how come this is, why you're standing so long queue, and this is something you don't you think so? This is your mutual fund. No. Gray premium is 18 rupees, and this is a outright 8 rupees you get. Even chartered accountant also. So try to understand that, so they are mad about close ended mutual fund. People are not able to understood what is the instrument is about, right? And then what happened actually, it is listed. It was listed, and the after a couple of days, when the Morgan Stanley started announcing the net asset value, it's called net asset value. What is net asset value? So net asset value is very important to understand, because when we talk about the even the holding company, we'll discuss about the net asset value of the stock, of the intrinsic value, how to calculate the intrinsic value of the holding company, right? So we, every mutual fund, no, they calculate what is the net asset value. So for example, they invest, the units are, say for example 30,000 units they issue. Here I'm just giving example. That means what is the net asset value? 30,000 divided by 30,000 units. This is your units issued, right? So how they calculate net asset value? It is nothing but your market value of funds, market day, whatever funds they invest. So on the first day, whatever the market value of the funds, whatever is there, divided by number of units, is equal to NAV. So for example, if this is a, say 300,000, that means it's a 10 rupees. That means when the Morgan Stanley launched the scheme, the initial net asset value was less than 10 rupees, because they have to also subtract the expenses. You have to also incur the registrar, you have to pay to registrar. So they deduct the expenses, and the net asset value on the second day, it was around 9.8 something, right? 20%, you can say that, all of a sudden. And then and they invested. Market crash also, I don't know whether you are aware, 94, Harshad Mehta's time, where market crash, and then Morgan Stanley NAV dip like anything. So after 1 month, 2 months, the net asset value was around 8 rupees in fact. And the people started realizing that, how about the premium 18 rupees, which they have paid 8 rupees premium. People heavily lost money. Actually, people heavily lost money, because then they understood the concept. Yeah, you can ask the question.
Sir, my question is, in mutual fund, the NAV is depending on the total assets they hold. Correct. So if the Morgan Stanley have collected 18 rupees, then the NAV should be 18 rupees, correct?
Yeah, Morgan Stanley, they have not collected 18 rupees, they have collected 10 rupees. Market premium, gray market premium was 18 rupees, 8 rupees.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood, sir.
I explained you clearly. They issued at 10 rupees, price was 10 rupees, right? It is the initial offer, public offer, IPO was like, and this they issued 10 rupees, and overnight, people believing that this is a multinational companies and the company will earn money. So, they used to pay 8 rupees gray premium, but they never understood what is net asset value. Your net asset value is nothing but your market value of asset, whatever they are holding, divided by number of units. This becomes your net asset value. I'll repeat again. You pay 10 rupees, right? And that's why they have collected money. How much? 300,000 rupees. You can see here. 300,000 rupees you have collected. And the unit is 30,000. That means per unit, your NAV should be 10 rupees. But after deducting the expense, please mute your sound. Now, this is a very interesting story. Why I'm started is interesting story. You should know all these things. What is close-ended fund and how we have taken the advantage. That also I will tell you how we have taken the advantage. Okay, fine. So this is the net asset value becomes 9.8. It means that if the market value fluctuates, for example, if I want to calculate the net asset value next day, so whatever the investment is there. So say for example, after 1 month, if the market value, if this is appreciated and the market value say is 320,000, what is the number of units? This number of units won't change. Well, I'm repeating, number of units which they have issued won't change. This is called close-ended fund. In case of open-ended fund, they will still redeeming the units and then they accept the new units. So here the units is float. In case of open-ended fund, units keeps changing. But in case of close-ended fund, units won't change. So that means the net asset value will be, once they collected the fund, it is over. That means now the net asset value is 10.66. So they revalue every day, they calculate the market value of the investment. So investment they have made in Reliance Industries and HDFC and all these things. But when you I don't 94, when they started investing the money in the stock market, really you will be surprised. The company like Morgan Stanley, right? They have invested in the third category stock and second category stock. So that's something, this is a lack of experience. They must have hired the fresh IIMs and they started investing. That means the experience is something which is very important, right? How you are going to invest. It's not that after clearing the IIMs and you become a expert. Absolutely no. You have to get the experience of investing. You should know ups and down at least couple of times. Then only you will understand the market pulse, what exactly market is, and they will understand. It's like, sometimes I also lost the money. I'm not saying that I'm a foolproof. I have learned that. I also lost the money initial days I'm talking about, and I'll tell you what are my mistakes I did actually, and how I learned actually over the period of time. So this net asset value becomes 10.66. Now it was like a 15 years fund. Okay, so slowly people started realizing that this is a mutual fund, close-ended mutual fund. This is not a earning. It's not companies earning anything. So Morgan Stanley company miserably failed actually, and their NAV crash actually. You won't believe, and people lost the interest at the same time. They realized one thing, that this is a mistake actually, because this is a close-ended fund, and they have never understood the instrument actually, right? And once upon a time, it's like a NAV was, and they have struggled also after spending 5 to 6 years. They have also hired professional portfolio managers and analysts, and they realized that the story of India, that how to invest in Indian market, and the NAV from 7 rupees, they appreciated to 12 rupees, but the market price, people never actually people thought about that this is something, this is a failure, and the market price was only 7 rupees. Just imagine, it was listed on the stock market price was 7 rupees, NAV was 12 rupees. That time also people never understood the instrument, that your net asset value is 12 rupees, is going to redeem after 10 years. Slowly the the redemption date comes near, and they never realize that you will get 12 rupees at a time of redemption, but the market price was 7 rupees. That means what is the discount actually? So I just want to explain you the discount portion, that 5 rupees is a discount. It means that 5 divided by 12, just imagine, this was a discount, 41% discount. And you can understand that you invest at 7 rupees, and at a time of redemption you get a 12 rupees. I'll repeat again. You invest here at 7 rupees and you get 12 rupees at a time of redemption. So you get a 5 rupees profit on how many? What is your investment? Your investment is 7 rupees. That means 71% for 71.42%. You can see the investors' sentiment and understanding of the securities. They visibly they fail to understand here actually there's a best opportunity, that the net asset value is 12 rupees. That means that net asset value is 12 rupees, but market price was 7 rupees. That means that if you invest in 7 rupees, even the stock market crash by certain percentage, for example, is 12 rupees, 5 rupees is a margin of safety is very high. In fact, margin of safety is very high. Even the stock market crash also, even then also the redemption value, it won't go below 7. You can understand that. Have you ever seen the market crash by 71%, 50%, 60%? Very rare case. But this is a golden opportunity, and I one thing we understood, one thing, that this is something golden opportunity. We have invested heavily in fact, we know that 7 rupees NAV, 12 rupees NAV, you are getting at 7 rupees. It is just like a if the market is 40,000 and you are getting the at what price you are paying actually, 7 by 12. You can understand that 7 by 12 is, what is the percentage discount? 7 by, it is 58%. That means you are purchasing at 58%, 23. That means that even the index, if we go below 23,000, you are safe. You can understand that. So you have to understand the logic behind how to calculate the NAV, and the NAV, whether it is worthwhile to invest when the market price. So here, close-ended fund, mutual fund, you get a arbitrage opportunity. What is the arbitrage opportunity? Your NAV is 12 and your market price is 7. That means you get a 100% return you will get. If the NAV means, if market is crashed by certain percentage, 58%, then only you will earn. You can understand that. So we have definitely, most of the analysts, if they understood the instrument, they have taken the advantage. Another thing, government also allowed Morgan Stanley, because of the worst performance, government allowed Morgan Stanley to buy back their units. They know very well that our NAV is 12 rupees and the the market price is 7. That means they buy, if they buy back their own units, your NAV will go up. Your NAV will go up. Why NAV will go up? Any idea? You can see that. See, for example, 320,000 is your market value. Let me give you an example. 12 rupees is a NAV, and this is a 1 unit, and market price is, say for example, 10 units are there, and you have the 120 NAV, 10 units, and the market price is 7. If you buy back, say 2 units, let's see, now NAV is 12 rupees, right? If I buy back 2 units, you will be paying 7 into 2, 14 rupees. That means 120 minus 14, right? 120 minus 14 will be 106, and the outstanding units will be 8, because you have bought back 2 units. So what is the NAV? NAV will definitely goes up because of that, 13.25. Understand the concept? Whenever, that's why companies, like, whenever they go for the buyback, if the book value, that is called NAV, right? Book value of the company, if it is greater than the market price, company should go for the buyback, so that the book value goes up. Book value goes up. If the book value of the company is less than the market price, book value goes down. Say for example, here you can say that 120 is a, say for example, is a this is a total corpus fund, and you are 10 units. That means the 12 rupees, right? 12 rupees is a net asset value. Okay, what I did actually, purchase at 7 rupees. So 7 into 2 is 14. I subtracted 14 from the 120, it comes to 106, and the number of units outstanding becomes 10 minus 2, 8. So your NAV goes up overnight. NAV goes up overnight. That is what the Morgan Stanley did when they announced this buyback offer. Even people, they were not able to understand. I'm telling you, sometimes ignorance is there. Indian investor, problem is ignorance. Even the Reliance triple optionally convertible debenture, people never understood the instrument, and those who understood the instrument, they made money like anything from switching over from one instrument to another instrument. So here you can see that if the NAV is greater than market price, then definitely buyback is always a good option, so that you can increase the net asset value. It is just like Morgan Stanley knew that the NAV is 12 rupees per unit, and you are getting it 7 rupees. That means a clear cut 5 rupees is an advantage, right? So by cancelling, if you cancel, for example, if I cancel 5 units, that means 106 minus 35, right? And here if I subtract 5 units from 8, it becomes 3, right? See the NAV, what happens? 23.66 overnight. So here it's like when you are cancelling, for example, when you're buying back, whenever the NAV, net asset value of the company, if it is more than the market price, company should go for the buyback. That is what the message we always give to companies. Whenever I attend the AGM, whenever I see that there's idle cash is there, and the book value of the company is greater than the market value, especially the banking companies. If you see that banking companies nowadays, if you see even the book value is greater than the market price, what the government should do, they should buy back. If they buy back, definitely book value goes up, in fact. And the book value goes up, and definitely the market price will also jump, definitely. But the market capitalization won't be changed actually, but the market price will go up, so remaining shareholder will get a advantage. Have you understood the NAV concept actually? That what is the NAV? I'm talking about the close-ended fund, and I will be comparing this close-ended mutual fund with our holding company. The main purpose of explaining the concept is the holding company also, it is just like a close-ended mutual fund. I'll repeat again. Holding company is also just like close-ended mutual fund. You will get a lot of arbitrage opportunity. You will get lot of arbitrage opportunity where your net asset value of the holding company is much higher than the market price of the stock holding company. So this is something we have to identify. If you want to play safe, and if you don't want to take any risks, I think so rather than investing in open-ended mutual fund, better to invest in holding company. So open-ended mutual fund, what happen actually is like NAV goes up 12 rupees, for example, then the mutual fund will purchase at the rate of maybe some extra charges they will charge. So 12 rupees 10 paisa they will purchase, and if you sell, what you fetch is 11 rupees 90 paisa. But whatever purchase and sell will happen only at the NAV, net asset value. But in case of closed-ended fund, NAV is only you have to track the NAV, but then it is listed on the stock market. That means the market price fluctuates, and you get an arbitrage opportunity here. So that is what exactly you do for the close-ended mutual fund. ETF is what? It is also just like if it is a gold fund, for example, if it is a close-ended mutual fund, you can take the advantage. You can unmute and you can ask me. That's not a problem.
Sir, if from an investor point of view, if the market price is less than NAV, then we should better invest in that, or we can choose that mutual fund.
But this is the market price is less than your NAV. This will happen in close-ended mutual fund only. Open-ended, anyway, it is not listed, right?
Right.
On the stock. Open-ended, you will not get this opportunity of arbitrage.
Okay, sir.
Only the close-ended mutual fund you will get an opportunity. I'll tell you, we have earned a lot of money when the price was around 8 rupees something, mutual Morgan Stanley, and the NAV was 12 rupees, and it was going to redeem next year. We bought a lot of units, and I know that you can understand that 4 divided by is 50% in 1 year. 4 divided by 8, just imagine what is the percentage. 4 divided by 8 is like a 50%. So we earn a lot of money. Let me forget about the stock market. I said invest in Morgan Stanley only. This is a very good 50% return in 1 year. Just imagine that. So if you understand the concept of mutual fund and NAV, then only you can, as on today also, there are few close-ended mutual fund where you may get a arbitrage opportunity of 25 to 30% discount. 25 to 30% discount you can get. Keep a track actually, and then maybe you can calculate that whether you are getting 25% in a year, very good return, right?
Right, sir.
25% in a year is very good return. Sometimes you get a arbitrage opportunity. Companies like I'll tell you, even the fixed income security also, Britannia Industries, their debentures are listed on the stock exchange, Britannia Industries, because they are they have paid called scrip dividend. Scrip dividend means what? Actually, they, instead of paying the cash, they issued a debenture. Okay, so they have distributed dividend, but they in lieu of the cash, they have just issued a debenture that is listed on stock exchange. So when we calculate the redemption date and the market rate, you see the difference. Actually, there is a discount is going on, so you get the opportunity where you can definitely earn that discount. So basically the yield is come to around 15 to 16%. That is a risk free, right? In fact, Britannia Industry is going to honor the commitment. So these type of opportunities you get actually. So these if the discounting is very high, for example, you will definitely fetch higher return without any yeah, risk is there, but is a little. I'm not saying that always the mutual fund are there, they're investing in the stock market, risk is there, but this is a calculated risk, right? 40-50% if you get a discount. For example, if I tell you that I'm giving you Reliance Industries at 40% discount, what do you say? For
Buy,
example, price of the Reliance is 2000 example, and if I tell you that I am giving you at 1200, would you buy?
yes, sir, definitely.
Definitely you buy. So same thing, it's a proxy, right? Mutual fund is already invested and their net asset value is 12 and is available at 7 rupees. What is that? Is mean that you are purchasing the units at 7 rupees and getting the advantage of net asset value of 12 rupees. Okay. So this is a clear advantage.
Sir, one thing, is there any lock-in period?
Sir, one query. In that case, one has to look out for the date of redemption, or in this case, whether the company buys back. So that should be a point of consideration, sir.
That is a point of consideration, that you have to see the redemption date. Okay. In case of fixed income security or the closed-ended mutual fund, where they will declare the redemption date. In case of closed-ended mutual fund, I will, if you, I'm very sorry, actually, then please don't attend my. Samir, I request you, please mute your sound. Samir, thank you. So, the concept of mutual fund, close-ended mutual fund, we always compare with the holding company. Nowadays, very few, close-ended mutual funds are available. Okay. People have also understood, but still market is imperfect, in fact. So if you see the holding companies, right? Now I'm just comparing the close-ended mutual fund with the holding companies. In fact, I have also circulated a chart, right? That, what are the discount actually available, that if you purchase Bajaj Auto Holding Limited, for example, and I'll give you the example, Bajaj Auto Holding Limited. Now these are the holding company. I will also explain you which holding company is better for the investment, but I would rather prefer that companies who are holding the another company and they are doing the business also, that is much preferable. For example, Sundaram Clayton. Have you heard about Sundaram Clayton? Sundaram Clayton.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
TVS
company of TVS. Do you know that?
Yeah, TVS.
Yes, sir.
Not only the holding company of TVS, Sundaram Clayton also doing their own. They have their own business, in fact. So business is also there, and they are holding company. Have you heard about Finolex Cable and Finolex Industries? I'm just giving you example. and we'll
Yes,
definitely
sir.
dive. Finolex Industries and Finolex Cable. The Finolex Industries and Finolex Cable, they have a cross holding. So what happened here? Finolex Industries is holding in Finolex Cable and Finolex Cable is holding in Finolex Industries. So that 33% holding is there. So definitely, so how we calculate the NAV, we'll discuss that. Okay. Let us start with the Bajaj Auto Holding Limited. I will be opening the Bajaj Auto Holding website. You can see that whenever they publish their result, just we can just analyze the result and you yourself can calculate what is the NAV of the company and you yourself decide whether it is worth investing or not. We'll see that 1 minute. We know very well that Bajaj Finance is also very good company. Bajaj Finserv is also very good company, right? And Bajaj Auto Limited is also very good company. So let us start with the Bajaj Holding. The price is what? 3,669 is the price. Okay. And let me visit the, just give me 1 minute. Actually, this Microsoft Bing is not good here. This actually Google is good. So what you do, Bajaj Auto Holding, just search for that. Bajaj Holding. Earlier days it was Bajaj Auto Holding. Now it is Bajaj Holding is there. But anyway, Bajaj Holding, here is the company. Company split into, 3 companies. You can see Bajaj Holding investment result. Just open the result. Let us see the Q4 result. Interesting. So they are very transparent actually. Bajaj Holding, no, the Bajaj Group is very good in fact. So you know very well, if you purchase one stock of Bajaj Holding Limited, indirectly you are also holding. You can see that consolidated annual profit. So they are using the equity method of accounting. So consolidated profit after tax is 949 crores. Standalone profit, let's not see the standalone profit because they use the equity method of accounting. What is equity method of accounting? I'll discuss that. They have declared 40 rupees dividend. Okay. And if you go to the, I'm just scrolling down now, what they're saying that Bajaj consolidated profit after tax is 979 crores versus 194, aided by strong performance of Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Alliance General Life Insurance Companies, and the Maharashtra Scooters profit, because they are also a holding company, right, of Maharashtra Scooters. Maharashtra Scooters is also holding in Bajaj Auto. So when they, let me show you what is the percentage of stake actually. That is, I'm interesting. That is what actually I want to see that. See the 31st, this is interesting now. See that 31st March 2021, right? They say that the cost is 3,135 strategic equity investment and the market value of the stock is 99,806. Can you see the unrealized profit? So they are saying equity shares and others are there. You can see the market value is, so when it's like a mutual fund, right? Mutual fund also, what we see actually the market value, right? So 109,209 crores, and you can see that this is 9920. You can see the cost. Now they are saying that against the book value of 1259, NAV is 9813. Now this was on 31st March. Today, if you see the NAV, you will come to know what is the NAV. It has gone up like anything. So 9813 is a NAV. Now what is the market price? What we have seen 3,600. You can see that, right? This was on 31st March. Maybe the June result they have announced. We should see that. Now let us see that. What they are saying that. They are saying that Bajaj Auto holding is 35.77%. They are holding, right? What is how they have calculated? Direct stake is 33.43%, and Maharashtra Scooter, that is a subsidiary company of Bajaj Auto, indirectly they are holding 2.34% in Bajaj Auto Limited. So they are holding 35.77% in Bajaj Auto. In Bajaj Finserv, they are holding 41.63%. and Maharashtra Scooter Limited, they are holding 51%. So you can understand that, that this is a percentage of stake. So when you calculate the market value of the Bajaj Auto Limited multiplied by 35.77%, and the Bajaj Finserv is 41.63%, and the 51% of Maharashtra Scooter, all the market capitalization just multiply, add it up, and then you calculate the NAV, what is the net asset value of the company, you will find is a mind-boggling actually. So this company, last 30 years, you will get assured appreciation. Let me tell you, this is a very good company. Let me tell you, and
Harish bhai,
yeah,
this is Suresh over here.
okay.
Harish bhai, such a huge opportunity which is there. Don't you think so? Most of the people would have already accounted for that particular aspect.
Good question. Actually, good question. Actually, what happened actually again? So world over, when they calculate the holding company discount, it is around 20 to 25%. Why it is? You know why? Because it is like directly you are not holding; it is indirectly holding. So if you purchase one share of Bajaj Holding, indirectly you are holding certain number of Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Auto Limited. It's an indirect holding. That means market always gives around 20 to 25% discount. But whenever market gives, if they in the market, if you get 50 to 60% discount, especially companies like Bajaj Holding Limited, it is worth buying. And if you ask me that, the market is perfect, market is not perfect. Let me tell you, have they understood? Even the analysts also, I'll tell you, there are great analysts I'm talking about, right? They talk about Bajaj Auto Limited is a good buy. They will say. They will also say that, Bajaj Finserv buy. Bajaj, they will say, but they will not talk about the holding company. There is a lot of appreciation is there, and you can see that 9,800 is your NAV, and the price is 3,600. That means what you purchase those stock, Bajaj Finserv and all this thing, it is available at what price?
One
One
third,
third.
one third of the price.
One third of price, and this one third of price you should grab it. I see. I'll tell you. That means that even their stock market price today, what is the price as on 31st March is 9813. Would you like to see the 30th June? Let me see that. It should be there. Hold on. It should be there actually. They must have announced actually. I don't think so. Why?
Harish bhai, I am not questioning this particular part of it. What I'm questioning, what it boggles me is that such a huge amount, such a huge discounted price you are having it. Why people are not looking into it?
So you should look. No, that's why we are. Why
Absolutely.
you should look then.
Yes. No, I'm not speaking about my in retail
No,
industry,
that's why-
especially
that's
for
why-
the.
But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's why I'm teaching, no, all this thing. Why I'm teaching?
No, I totally understand.
The
No,
great value here. When we say the
Yeah.
great value, that's why I'm the. You would like to see the chart actually, moneycontrol.com. See the moneycontrol.com. I'll show you that also. The last 30 years performance, right? We'll see that. You'll never go wrong actually. See the history also, right?
correct, Harish bhai. That is correct. It has a huge potential, but the problem is why those other bigger analysts and all those people, they are not investing into that, and why market is not giving that.
First of Yeah. So first of all, they have to understand what is equity method of accounting.
Right.
Let me tell you, it's like they see. I'll tell you, analysts know. First of all, they are not well versed with the accounting. Also, analysts they know what is a discounted cash flow technique. They know So maybe when they calculate, they will not consider, because this equity method of accounting is a consolidation at the net income level.
Okay, sir.
So cash flow statement you won't get. And these analysts they use the cash flow statement, free cash flow, FCFF, and they calculate the let me first show you the chart. 1 minute. Yeah. Can you see that consolidated earning per share? This is how they did actually, 327.95. Okay. And they say sector P is 47. This is only 11. book value of share is 2822. This is book value. It's like at cost, no cost price. They just calculate 2822, but net asset value is, so they've started publishing NAV then. They realize one thing, that there is a problem here. It's like, people are not understanding the value of the Bajaj Auto. Let me see the max chart. This is the maximum chart. I would love to show you from the 1990. You can see the chart is from the 2014, and that there was
Right.
a crash was there, but again it's gain actually immediately. You can see that.
Immediately, yes. Yeah.
Immediately. And what I'm saying, that this will definitely cross 5,000. Don't worry,
Right.
because
Right.
if you see if you cannot afford to purchase Bajaj Finserv, if you miss the bus, Bajaj Finance, purchase Bajaj Holding. Purchase
sir.
Bajaj Holding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
This is a stock. I'm just explaining one stock. I'm going to explain the other stock also. Let us understand one by one. Let's see that
Sure.
also. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Sir, one query. Say this constitutes auto and finance both. You say one sector fails and share prices of one thing drops. Still, this one will be balanced. Is the understanding correct, sir?
no, your voice. I'm not able to hear your voice properly.
Sir, say that this Bajaj Holding has got its investments in auto and also in Bajaj Finserv, and one industry fails and the share price of those gets reduced. Still, the other one does better. In that case, this will be a balanced price. This price would not fall much. Is the understanding correct?
You can say it's a natural hedge, right? It's a natural hedge, right? Because you are investing in the Finserv, and then you are invested in the Bajaj Auto also. They have invested in other companies also. Huh? You are not seeing the portfolio actually. I would like to open the annual report. It's interesting. Hold on.
Thank you, Harish bhai, for this. This is Suresh. Thank you.
No, you should. I'm telling you, there are many opportunities are there. This is only one thing I'm just showing you. Short winner.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you 100% bet. This is a short winner. And disclaimer, I'm holding.
Right. I understood that. Thank you.
Yeah. See where to get the portfolio, right? Let us see that. Bajaj Holding. And I'll show you some other interesting also, where you get 80% discount. We'll see that, right? 1 minute. Investor. So they have updated the annual report. Just give me 1 minute. Annual reports. Hmm. 1920 latest financial. Yeah, this one is very good. So Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. I have to see the annual report. Sometimes, no, these people are. Hold on 1 minute. Yes. Let us see that 2021 whether I can get. They publish also. They are very good management. Corporate governance is very high. Standard is very high. Let me tell you.
Yes, sir. That is what is driving nowadays. That amount of transparency is very good.
So they are already saying that. You can see Bajaj Auto 35.41%, and they is a they every gradually whenever there is a surplus, no, they increase their holding also in those companies. So this is something. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not getting the annual report. Otherwise, I could have. See that whether I can get from the annual report directly. It's not going to same site. These people have not in his presentation. But you have to read a lot of things. Huh? It's not that no, this is no. Anyway, chalo. But when you see the annual report, no, that time you'll see the number of shares. So I keep a track actually. how many number of shares are there.
Right, sir.
Let us see the other company, interesting company I want to show you. There is a company called Kama Holding. You heard about that?
No, sir.
That's why you are saying no. Why people are not buying?
Yeah.
Because ignorance. You don't know actually. It's a
Correct.
holding company of SRF. Have you heard about SRF?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
did.
Let us see that. Kama Holding. If you see the market price of Kama Holding, let us see that 1 minute. Is a holding company of SRF. And you have to see that because you have to keep a track about the annual report registration, but these people are not. Let's see they've combined annual report. I'm just explaining you what is the outstanding shares of Kama Holding and how much shares they are holding in SRF. So you can find out the ratio actually. That one share, if you purchase Kama Holding, indirectly, how many shares of SRF you are purchasing? Are you getting what I'm saying? One share of Kama Holding
Yeah.
is equal to how many shares of SRF,
SRF. Yeah.
right? So we are finding out now. Let us see that. Is the annual report is there? Now you can see the cash flow from operation. I'm not interested in cash flow. I want to see the holding. Holding is how much SRF. Are you aware that Bombay Burma is a holding company of Britannia?
Yes, sir. Bombay Burma.
Only problem is that the corporate governance. So I'll tell you about Bombay Burma story also, but just see that. So what I think, the consolidated annual financial result include the audited financial result of 9 subsidiaries. Now these 9 subsidiaries companies. So you have to deep dive actually. It's not, I'm not saying that, but at least try to understand the concept actually. What is whether the holding company is just like a mutual fund, close-ended mutual fund. So if you know the this one, you can see a consolidated result because they have consolidated SRF result also here. In fact, I just want to find out the schedule where it will show the number of shares of SRF. Let me see that what I can get. Just give me 1 minute.
Sir, like you are saying now, like to invest in these holding companies is much good, or I'm slightly getting lost here, sir. We started with mutual funds.
Yeah. Just let me explain this. During the year ended March 31st, 2021, SRF Limited subsidiary has issued 1764,705 fully paid equity shares equivalent to 3% of existing paid up capital of SRF Limited to qualifying institution. They have already, SRF has issued a private placement. No, they are the, so let me see holding actually. 1 minute. Yeah, you continue with your question. Let me first find out Kama Holding stake.
So like we are going to invest, like are you advising us to invest in the mutual funds or these holding companies? Like I'm not getting the end result like this session.
Market cap of SRF is 38,000 crores, out of which 19,500 crores is attributable to Kama Holding. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
They got a holding stake of 50.72% in SRF Limited. Now let us see the market capitalization of SRF, and then we'll see the market capitalization of your Kama holding. Let us see the
Yes.
discount, right? So 50.72%. That means that I'll go to moneycontrol.com and let us find out the number of shares. Number of shares actually. So let me first open the SRF holding. Just give me 1 minute. See, I am searching with you only. You can see that.
Yes, sir.
So that at least you know that. I don't want to give that this is, otherwise I would have done the homework also. 1 minute.
Point taken, sir.
Now let us see the SRF.
Has 12 subsidiaries, sir.
Why it is not secure? I think. Sometimes, you know, if they have not issued a SSL certificate, no, you get this message. They should renew the certificate. It's called SSL certificate. Can you see the HTTPS? This is
Yes.
called this is a encryption, right?
Yeah.
If they don't renew the certificate, no, then you get this type of message. I have to continue. In fact, I can trust the website anyway. It's actually saying that.
And SRF is 52.28.
Yeah, let me see that. No, SRF. Let's see the SRF number of shares. How many number of shares are there? 7,118.65 is the market price. Okay, and see the financial. Balance sheet. I want to see what is the share capital. You can see that it is 60 number of share. Promoter is holding. Just 1 minute, yeah. 50.77%. That is Kama holding,
Yeah.
right? If you see the market capitalism of the company, which is, you have to see the market capitalization of the company. So what is the market value of the SRF? And 50% belongs to Kama holding.
Kama holdings. Yeah.
Right. So I need to see that the market capitalization. Market capitalization is what? It is a market price into outstanding shares. Right. That is a
Right.
market capitalization of company. So let us see that the market capitalization of company, because you know mobile version is different actually, and that's the reason I'm just struggling here. See, market capitalization is 42,174 crores. Let us write down 42,174. Let's write down 42,174 is a market capital. There is the enterprise value of the company as per the market, divided into 50 point. Let's say 50%.
Okay.
Let's say 50%. It is 21,000 crores, right? 21,000 crores should be the Kama holding is that is what the NAV should be. 21,000 crores of the market capitalization. Now let's see the Kama holding now. Kama holding. Kama holding is 7977. See the market capitalization. That is what actually I'm interested. They are not. Yeah. What is the market capitalization? 5,147. 5147. Let me write down. 5147.
Crores.
It means that it is available at, what is the discount?
It's almost 1/4.
Yeah, it is 1/4 actually. 1/4. That means if
Yeah.
you hold, so I have also calculated that if you hold one share of, it is 24. And then well, how many times is that? 21 divided by 5147. 4.09. It means that, what does it mean? If you hold one share of Kama Holding is equal to 4.09 shares of SRF.
Right.
You are getting my point? 4.09. It means that the value should be 4.09 multiplied by 7,000, right? It's some SRF price.
Correct. Yeah. Close to around 28,000
28,630 should be the
actual price.
NAV of Kama Holding.
Kama Holding.
Now, can you say that it means that if the SRF price, if it is increased by 50 rupees, that means that Kama Holding should increase by 200 rupees logically.
Right. Right.
You getting what I'm saying? If you are holding one share of Kama Holding, indirectly you are holding 4 shares of your
SRF.
SRF. If the SRF increase by say 50 rupees, then the Kama Holding should increase by 200 rupees, right? But it's not increasing by 200 rupees. Maybe you can say 30% discount. Then it should increase by at least 150 rupees,
Very much.
right? So this is how you can find out the arbitrage opportunities. Here you are playing safe. I bought it at 6,000 rupees. Let me tell you. Okay. There are many investors are there. The prudent investor, they have invested long back 2,000 rupees and 3,000 rupees. I know Kalpesh also, he must have invested. I know that. So what I'm saying that this is something, good opportunity for the investor. When you are asking me that, whether, why people are not investing in the stock, sometimes can you see the market price of the Kama Holding? See the chart also, very interesting. It jumped like, people realize that no, they catch up like anything. Here it is.
Right.
It's catch up. Here also is catch up.
Correct.
So price 1,000 rupees jump directly.
Right.
When you see the price, say let us see the recently. This is 1 month. I figure I know that you can see the jump.
Very much, sir. I've seen that.
Now it is stabilized again. It's stabilized, right? And then what happened? One person will find out, oh my God, this is a discounted. Lot of discount is available. So they will again purchase. And the floating stock is very less, in fact. If you see the floating stock is very less. You can see here the volume. Right? Now it is thinly traded. You can see that. But once the discount goes up, that time people will again jump into the stock. So what I'm saying that again, it's a good stock actually. It's like, what is the discount is 75%. Just imagine.
Yes, sir.
Huge discount, yeah. Huge discount.
Very huge. You don't get this.
You cannot get it. And SRF, sometimes people are always recommend that you purchase SRF. And you are getting SRF at, what is the discount? That means you are getting, if suppose someone tells you that you can purchase SRF at what price? It's like indirectly 1,750. Would you buy? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Definitely.
This is how we
very much.
This is how we calculate the, so one is a Kama Holding. I also, the Bajaj Auto Holding is one of the company. There are many companies are there. For example, Rane Holding. Okay. Then there is a company that is called Bombay Burma. But Bombay Burma story is different actually. I personally, I don't Bombay Burma because of corporate governance. Because Bombay Burma is also holding in Bombay Dyeing and there are some this Go Airways also. So I'm not actually too much keen in, but yes, Sundaram Clayton is very good company. I'll tell you now. I would like to select companies. It's not only holding company, but they have their own business also. Don't you think so? It's a double advantage.
Very much.
So see Sundaram Clayton. If you see the Sundaram Clayton is holding in TVS Motor. And Sundaram Clayton, let's see the result also. Interesting. So you have to do the research actually. I understand that you may not have a time to do a lot of research, but I'm just explaining you certain. See, there are only few companies are there, holding companies, so you don't have to worry about that. Just track only few companies. It's not that you have to learn each and every company, right? You select few holding companies, good holding companies, and invest. So if you see the Sundaram Clayton, this one is. Earlier it was with Webco. Now see the their earnings. Market capitalization is 7,089 crores, and they have their own business also. Huh? And not only that, they have their own business. You can see the jump actually. You know, whenever TVS Motor price increase, these also jump. Just want to see that this is the market capitalization is 7,089 crores, and see the TVS Motor. We'll see that TVS Motor. See, this is how you see that, no? TVS Motor. ₹621. See the market capitalization. It is 29,529. So 50% they are holding, right? It is like 57% something like that. So 29,529 divided by 15,000 crores. You can see that you are getting Sundaram Clayton. You know, that is a, first of all, is a holding company of TVS, and Sundaram Clayton is also having their own business. So you can understand what is the business value. You are getting negative value. That means that Sundaram Clayton is available at very good price. In fact, you can see that. See, so all these companies, you know, whenever you identify, you should understand that, you know, that these companies are available at a steep discount, and you can definitely get into. Any questions so far about the how to identify the holding company? So there are a couple of companies have said that, you know, like one is Bajaj Auto Holding Limited. This is Bajaj Holding Limited. And I also discussed Kama Holding. Just gave you the example. Nowadays, you know that SRF may cross 10,000 rupees. In fact, so you know chances are very good. In fact, is doing well actually SRF. So you can understand the Kama Holding how much it will increase. So this is again disclaimer is that both the stock I'm holding, SRF and Kama Holding also. Okay, sometimes I got a temptation to switch over from SRF to Kama Holding. But you know, again, I said whatever I'm holding, let it be. Because indirectly, I can understand that if I switch over from SRF to Kama Holding, indirectly I'll be holding 4 times of SRF.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions so far? I know that you know. I hope that you understood the concept first of all.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Any question?
Right, sir, but there's some amount of debt in Kama Holding. That's not an issue, right?
Sorry?
There's some amount of debt in Kama Holding, so that's not an issue.
Some amount of
Debt.
debt is there.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah.
Small debt will be there, so it's not so much.
No, sorry, in SRF, not in
SRF you're talking about. SRF, you know very well, no? So if you have learned part 2, you must know what is the optimum capital structure of the company, right? So they must have used that. How can you say that debt is bad?
not always.
Warren Buffett always says that, you know, I'm comfortable with 0.3 debt equity ratio.
Sir, one question here. There arises a condition like Bajaj Holdings also has Maharashtra Scooters. Maharashtra Scooters also has Bajaj Holdings. So how does that work, sir?
It works
When
actually. Earlier days, you know what happened actually. Maharashtra Scooter was not a holding was not a subsidiary company of Bajaj Holding. Maharashtra Scooter was held by Maharashtra government and the Bajaj Auto Limited. And then when they split into 3 parts, that time indirectly, so the Bajaj Holding got the shares, and the Maharashtra government also divested the stake to Bajaj Holding Limited, and that's the reason there is a cross holding. It's a very little. It's not so much. Yeah. It's not a. It's not a even. It's around 3 to 4%, I believe. Yeah. So whenever there is a cross holding, example, Finolex Industries is holding in Finolex Cable, and the Finolex Cable is holding in Finolex Industries. If you really want to calculate the net asset value, a book value, right? Then what you do actually is a simultaneous equation, right? Then you can get it, the value. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
Sir, the holding company financials are always consolidated, sir.
Yeah. So you get a standalone financial as well as the consolidated financials. Both the financial you get. So consolidated, if the more than 50%, that means they consolidated every line item of expenses and line item of revenue.
But 33% and all it's there. So,
Equity method accounting.
oh yeah, okay.
Equity method account is only the net income level consolidation.
Okay.
So what is the meaning of that? It means that suppose 33% is there. If you attended my lecture, you know that, right? For 33%, suppose if this is a Bajaj holding, right? Investment in Bajaj Auto, example, right? So what happened here? If Bajaj Auto is earning, say 100 crores, so 33% of 100 crores is 33 crores will be added to net income of Bajaj Holding. Are you getting now? So 33 crores will be added to the net income of Bajaj Holding Limited. This is called equity method of accounting. Right?
Right, sir, it's in part 1.
It's in part 1. Yes. So if you forgot, then you should revise. 33 crores, 33% is a holding. So more than 20%, that means you are exercising the significant influence, right? And when you are exercising the significant influence, if it is less than 50% holding, what we use is called equity method accounting. What is equity method accounting? It is called a one line consolidation, that is called net income. So net income of Bajaj Holding, say for example, is 5 crores standalone, right? Because they must be receiving only dividend, right? So if say suppose the other income is 5 crores, then they will add 33 crores here. And moment they add 33 crores, whatever Bajaj Auto is declaring the dividend, that you have to subtract anyway. I'm not getting to the accounting part now, but you know, this is how at least ballpark figure you get, that whatever holding in the, if there is a less than 50%, whatever percentage you are holding, you just apply whatever percentage and calculate, and you add to the profit of the Bajaj Holding, right? Any other question?
Sir, can you tell that how to calculate the discount again, sir, using the market capitalization? You calculate a discount of Kama Holdings. Can you explain it again, sir?
Sorry, I could not get your question.
No, like how to calculate the discount of the holding companies, like how
Market capitalization of companies SRF is 42,174 crores. If you see the moneycontrol.com, the market capitalization, what is the meaning of market capitalization? Market capitalization is nothing but market price multiplied by what?
Number of shares outstanding.
Outstanding shares, not number of shares. Outstanding shares. Remember that, no? Remember?
Yes.
Issued capital minus treasury stock.
Market price multiplied by outstanding shares. That is what the market is giving the value to SRF, which is 42,174 crores, right? And then we calculated the market value of Kama Holding. What is the investor is saying? 5,147 crores, right? And 42,174 is the market value of SRF, and the Kama Holding is 50% stake is there. So 87,000 crores of market value Kama Holding is, you know, having the investment. So you can see the what is the discount? Are you getting now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Or what you can do actually, to be very precise, what you can do actually, you have to read the annual report, find out what is the number of shares of SRF they are holding, multiply by the market price, divided by outstanding shares of Kama Holding. You get a per value. How the Bajaj Holding is calculating? They calculate NAV of 9,800. No, how they have calculated? They calculate like this only: number of shares multiplied by market price, take the total divided by outstanding shares of Bajaj Holding Limited. So per share, what is the value? So per share, Bajaj Holding value is 9,800 NAV. And what is the market price? 3,600. So there is a discount, right? Or easiest way. What is the easiest way? Whatever percentage holding is there, see the market capitalization of the company, multiply it, take the total, and see the market capitalization of the holding company. See the what is the discount. I hope you are getting it.
Sir, can it
Yes,
be
sir.
said the company which gives the most discount is the best option?
Already circulated. List is already circulated. See the WhatsApp. You want to see that?
Yes, sir.
This is better than mutual fund, right? What do you say? 1 minute. Have circulated. Have you read the WhatsApp messages? Then you should get, no? It is there.
On 25th June, sir.
Here it is. Sure, no? Bajaj holding is 62% discount. Tata investment is 61%. Bombay Burma is 83%. Heavy discount, no? 83%. I have a problem with corporate governance. So I don't see Go Airways and Bombay Dyeing. These are companies are loss-making company. HDFC Limited. I really missed this actually. This is a really good company. HDFC holding in HDFC Bank, AMC, Live, Bandhan Bank, and discount is 25%. And HDFC Limited company is also doing the business. So it's double advantage, right? I prefer HDFC Limited also. Maharashtra Scooter is also, there is the investment value is there. Discount is only 25%. It is 73%, sorry, 73%. Bama Louis Investment. See, I have already given Kama Holding SRF 73%. Kalyani Investment. You just see that which company they are holding, whether it is worth investing or not. So here they have not identified Sundaram Clayton. They have missed Sundaram Clayton here. They should have listed Sundaram Clayton here. Pilani Investment. Pilani Investment is actually speaking Aditya Birla Group. You can see Ultratech Cement, Grasim, Aditya Birla Capital. So if you really want to invest in Aditya Birla Group company, just invest in Pilani Investment. Very good. 77% discount. Then this is 86% discount. I'm not very sure about the 10 wala chemical. I'm not if I don't know the business, no, I will never invest. I don't know. First of all, Rane Holding again is a good company. Given a choice, I would rather prefer Bajaj Holding, Kama Holding, and the Tata Investment. Very good. Okay, at least they are the proxies of all the Tata's companies, and the Sundaram Finance Holding is also good, in fact. And that's all. Other companies, Bama Louis is a government company. I don't like. HDFC Limited is good. JSW Holding, well, actually, not very preferable because JSW, somehow I don't like corporate governance issue. Steel sector also, it is cyclical. So sometimes I don't like. Otherwise, if I'm given a choice, only 3 or 4 companies are good. Any query? See, Tata Investment Company, holding is Titan, Tata Consumer, Trend, Voltas, TCS, HDFC Bank. I'll tell you one story actually, very good. Tata Power, in 94, Tata Power was quoting around 45 rupees, 10 rupees stock, and now it is 1 rupee stock. And in 94, my father retired, and he got the money from the gratuity. So he said that I want to invest in fixed income security. So when I analyzed the Tata Power company, so Tata Power was holding in Tata Sons. And I have calculated the value of Tata Sons because Tata Sons, you'll never get the Tata Sons balance sheet and profit and loss account. So when they came out with the IPO, that is Tata Steel, they have to publish the group companies. That time, I could figure it out that Tata Power is holding in Tata Sons. The value of Tata Sons, one share is equal to some 12 lakh rupees. That those days I'm talking about. I multiplied number of shares of Tata, and then I found out that Tata Power net asset value, that means intrinsic value, comes to 192 rupees. So I just invested in Tata Power. All the gratuity, which I father's gratuity, I've invested. And Tata Power used to give 4.5 rupees dividend, so it is a 10% yield actually. So, and 10% yield is very good in fact. And then uh, somehow market, 45 rupees I invested something and it went down to 38, 39. My father is asking me what happened. Well, this is something is going down and this is my hard-earned money. I don't have, I say I don't have answer. Wait for the patience is required. See, try to understand. Once you have the once you know the calculation, once you know the the how, you should at least have a confidence. And one day, one analyst published a report. Do you know that Tata Power is holding in Tata Sons? The value is so much. When Tata Sons, they divested the stake. That is for TCS. That time they valued the TCS valuation, and they came out with the intrinsic value of Tata Power. And the Tata Power, you can see that from 45 rupees, it jumped to 195. Just imagine. So this is how, this is is calculation. When you do the calculation, you can, at least you can understand that, value is there. If you know the value, you can invest, and you should have a patience also. It's not that today you invest and tomorrow you start, see the price and then they say, oh, it's not moving only. But there are many people I have seen that, they just daily they start, reading the newspaper and see that, oh, my price is going down, going up. You are not a trader actually, you are an investor. And investor should always give some time to stock. You cannot just overnight, you can just every day you can expect that, price will definitely increase. No, you are not you are the investor. If you are trader, then I can understand that daily movement is very much required. You can observe. But you have to wait 1 year, 2 year, you have to wait, and then you get the result. So and the whatever sessions I am actually taking, this is for the investors, not for the trader. I'm not going to teach you the technical analysis. What to buy, that I'm going to teach you. When to buy, that is something we have to learn, right? Technical analysis. And traders, sometimes they get a profit. They based upon the price movement, they select a stock. And I don't believe in that, I'm telling you. I believe in the fundamental analysis. I'm a fundamental analyst, and I believe in the long-term story rather than short-term. Right? Any question?
Right, sir.
Okay.
I think it was very good.
No, I'm telling, I always, my suggestion is that blindly don't believe the tips. You yourself should study, okay? Especially the finance students, right? You have the capability, you have to understand. If you are not a finance students, definitely there is no worry. Understand the logic actually, the basic concepts you should learn, okay? And whatever I'm telling you, this is a permanent story. For example, after 10 years, if you ask me which holding company is good, my answer is same. I will say Bajaj Holding. I will say Kama Holding, or I say other. So what I'm saying that, sometimes, people ask me that which company is good. When I say that these companies are good, again after 3 days they ask which company is good. I say same company. Yeah, how I'm not going to change my opinion. Definitely, the good companies you have to give some time also. You have to give some time, because if you see the last 30 years of history of HDFC Bank and HDFC, you blindly invest in HDFC Bank. I can tell you. Today price is what? 1,500. After 1 year, you see the price 2,000. After 2 years, you will see the price 2,500. Why you should?
Sir, after Atul Sori, sorry, sir. After Atul Sori left HDFC Bank, then also it saves same value.
Arey yaar, it's an organization, yaar. It's not a one person. See the organization, yaar. It's not a, is a one if someone left the company, it doesn't mean that the value is going down. It's an organization. One person cannot do anything, right? It's a teamwork, right? You should believe in team, right? Not in one person.
Yeah, sir. But I have a good experience of HDFC Bank before some time. I have to open the fixed deposit. Okay, so I went to ICICI without any document. They opened my fixed deposit. HDFC Bank want everything, my PAN card details. Even though I want my fixed deposit, they want everything. So they have make the system so clear that even if the person want to make fixed deposit, also they need each and everything clear.
They don't want to get into trouble, no?
Yeah, but ICICI take the fixed deposit simply.
No, they are very, I'm telling you, HDFC is conservative. And that's why they're doing well. You know,
Absolutely.
if suppose if you want to take a housing loan, see, I'll tell you, if you purchase any, any apartment, always take some small loan from the HDFC bank. Let me tell you, they will do the scrutiny on your behalf. You don't have to worry about.
Right, sir. I think to be a consumer, you can be for ICICI, but if you want to be a shareholder, you can be for HDFC, because that is where your money will be safe.
Money will be safe. Money will grow.
Grow.
Yeah,
Yes.
I really, money is safe. I don't believe that. Safe is there. Fixed deposit is safe, right? Or you invest in treasury bond, safe, government treasury bond. I'm not talking about only safe. Yeah, I want my money to grow. I want to beat inflation.
Right. Point taken. I take back my words.
Safety is something that is definitely you should have. A certain percentage of fund you should invest in stock market. Certain percentage of funds you should invest in fixed deposit. Certain percentage. So it depends upon the your risk appetite, right? If I am a risk seeker, I will definitely. I'm still 100% invested in the stock market, and I don't have any 1 rupee of fixed deposit. I don't believe in fixed deposit. Let me tell you. 3% return, 4% return, and how you can beat the inflation? You tell me.
Absolutely not, sir.
I really, if you have a knowledge, better you invest in stock market. At least stock market, certain good stock. I'm talking just now. I'm saying Bajaj Holding example. It's just like a fixed deposit only. Let me tell you, the chances of losing money is absolutely very less. Actually, let me tell you. Because anyway you have the margin of safety. Okay. So now lesson we have learned actually, what I'm saying that those people who are believing in mutual fund, right? I'm just talking about, if the NAV is available at discounted price, would you purchase the mutual fund, having an open-ended mutual fund where the NAV is, say, NAV is 15 rupees. What you get this stuff is only 15 rupees you purchase. But here you are getting a discount. The problem with the mutual fund is that, I don't want to criticize the mutual fund. It's not that, but they charge 2% fees. 50 years after 50 years means 100%, right? That means I'm not saying it will appreciate, but I don't believe in that. It's better that you directly invest in certain holding company, which is much better than mutual fund. That is what the message I want to give you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
But sometimes these holding company shares are so illiquid.
It depends. No, Bajaj Holding is good. If you see the capital is 100 crores. It's highly liquid. Yeah, Kama Holding liquidity is very less. Even, when I bought 50 shares, it's called impact cost. What is impact cost means what? If you purchase in bulk, you won't get the same price. You have to end up paying higher price. It's called impact cost. Yes, Kama Holding, the floating stock is very low. But always remember that whenever if it is good, if people will start purchasing the stock, that time, if it is low floating stock, the price will shoot up like 500 rupees and 1000 rupees. So that is also advantage, right? 7,000 to 8,000 journey, the Kama Holding is actually within 2 days completed the journey from 7,000 to 8,000. Just imagine. So that is also there, right? But pick up a good company. I'm not saying that, considering the, market risk is always there, but, pick up a good holding company. So at least where the margin of safety is very high, you will definitely earn. So I already stated certain good companies, certain good holding companies. You do your own homework now, right?
Sir, one more aspect is here, like when to purchase. Basically means it is right that what to purchase, but when to purchase is also important. So.
Yes. So when to purchase and what to purchase. What to purchase, we learned that. When to purchase is a technical analysis. But if you let me tell you one thing, that is my experience. If you know what to purchase, any price you purchase, you will definitely get a return if the fundamental is good. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah.
If you purchase HDFC Bank, for example, I'm telling you, say 52-week high, you see the Nestle. Every time people say Nestle is overpriced. People say that, and Nestle is overpriced. When it crossed 20,000, that time also they will say overpriced. 25,000 say overpriced. So fundamentally good script is there. So that time you don't think about when to buy. You just buy it. That's all. So what to buy is important rather than when to buy. Let me tell you. When to buy is something, if you purchase bad stock at lower price, for example, also, you get a habit of earning money from that bad stocks. And sometimes you lose money. That is my experience. Let me tell you. So I'm not getting into the bad stock. The money is where I got a choice, right? Whether to invest in good business or bad business. Think about just like you're a businessman. Don't think about lottery. Think that you are investing in the company. Indirectly, you are actually doing the business, purchasing the business. What you do, definitely when you are purchasing the business, you do the due diligence, right, of the company. So think about businessman rather than thinking about the speculator. Fine then. Chalo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.